Hello everyone, semi-retired Bob here. I talk about the carnivore diet, all things related to the carnivore diet, and miscellaneous odds and ends. Today I want to just have a little chat about coffee, but just a couple of quick notes first. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm glad you're here. You may be wondering what's going on here. Normally I'm outside walking today. It didn't quite get 50 degrees. It was very nice and sunny, so I got some walking in, but the walking I was doing was with my hands tucked into my coat pockets with gloves on and a hat and my heavy coat. And it's really hard to carry my camera around and record while I'm outside walking, but I did get some walking in today. I'm not quite to my 15,000 steps for this month yet, for today, but I think I'll probably get some more in after I'm done eating. As you can see on the stove behind me there, I've got my big skillet covered up with my cutting board because I don't have a big enough lid to fit that pot. I've got just a little bit of water in there, thawing out some stew meat because I had it out most of the day, but it just never really got warm enough to thaw out, even with the heat going on in my trailer, because of the way it's not insulated and the place I set the meats to thaw out, it certainly doesn't get as warm underneath my table there as it does in the rest of the trailer. So it just didn't thaw real well. So I've just got, not even a whole cup, just maybe a quarter cup of water in the bottom of the pan. I've got it on really low just to kind of steam the meat up a little bit to get it to thaw out. And then I'm gonna dump a half stick of butter in there and fry it up like I normally do. I'm looking forward to that because I'm hungry. After not being able to finish yesterday, I'm pretty hungry right now. But yeah, I should be able to get to my 15,000 steps for today, maybe even a few more after I get done eating. But it's still really cold out there. It's supposed to be warmer tomorrow, 65, and then slowly, through the rest of the week, that this is my last week in North Carolina, it's supposed to slowly climb up, and of course the day I'm leaving is the day it's supposed to crack the 80-degree mark, so yay me. It's going to get just warm enough to where I like it, just in time for me to go back north, where it's not as warm yet. But looking at the long-range forecast, it's supposed to be fairly nice in Ohio next week, and the longer range forecast shows, while it's still not going to be great in Omaha next week, the week after, it's supposed to get fairly decent. So, but anyway, yeah. Couple of quick notes before we get into coffee. I had a commenter, look at this shirt. And this is one of those Y shirts that I got back in the day, when I was still really big. They didn't fit, but Jill, the director of the YMCA in Omaha, was cleaning out some storage area and found a bunch of shirts. And she's like, "You want any of these?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're not going to fit me because they're larges, but I'll take them because I'll find something to do with them." Well, now those shirts that didn't fit me when I got them are now, I remember a couple, 4 or 5 months ago on the channel, I put them on and I was like, "Yeah, these fit now, this is great." And now they're way too big, so I'll have to find something else to do with them. But yeah, but anyway, I just noticed that as I was sitting here. But one of the things that came up in my comments from my last video was somebody thought I was being disrespectful of doctors. And I'm not really. I believe everybody that has gone to medical school deserves to be called doctor. And I will call them doctor. I might say Dr. Salad Boy or something like that, but they will at least get the honorific doctor from me. And that's as far as it goes. If they want to actually have respect, they have to say something worth being respected. If they continue to push what I believe is bad advice for the majority of the people that are probably watching, then I have no respect for those people. Just like I'll call Professor K Professor. I call Dr. Barry Dr. Barry. Dr. Jason Fung. All of those people, I call them doctor. And, Dr. Paul Saladino, he is a doctor. Dr. Gundry, I think is his name. But anyway, the whole point of this is that the honorific doctor or professor, and doctor being either medical doctor or PhD, they have earned that. They deserve to be called doctor. Yes, indeed, they do. But if they continually spout wrong information or try to pass their ideology off as science, then I have no respect for those people. And they deserve, while I won't openly, intentionally disrespect them on this channel, they do not really deserve respect. And it doesn't matter what their medical training was in. I mean, they could be a psychiatrist, or they could be a kidney specialist, or a neurosurgeon, or whatever. If they have correct information, then they are worth listening to. If they have incorrect information, then they are not worth listening to. The whole point I was trying to make in that video was that for some reason, because they have the right to put doctor in their name, then they get to, they get a ton of respect immediately out of YouTube, and people flock to their channel to watch because they have doctor in their name, not realizing that this person that has never spent a day actually practicing medicine is giving them bad information. And, I was just watching Professor K chew on Dr. Norton a little bit, because Dr. Norton decided that he was going to try and chew on Dr. Kiltz, which is a dumb thing to do because Dr. Kiltz is very smart. And he was trying to make the inference that, because Dr. Kiltz is a fertility doctor, that he shouldn't be talking about health and nutrition. But Dr. Kiltz is very knowledgeable, and he has instituted his form of keto for his fertility patients, and he has immense success. He's a very highly sought after fertility doctor because of his success rate. So it doesn't matter what you were trained in. If you're giving good information, you get my respect. If you're giving bad information, you do not. But that's all I was trying to say. So if I offended somebody out there, then I do apologize, but that's the way I look at things. Okay, so let's get into this coffee thing. Coffee. Speaking of coffee, let's start with what we know is fact, which is very little. Coffee is a plant. In fact, it's the bean of the plant. It's ground up and you filter water through it and you make a very delicious drink. It has caffeine. Is it good for you? Probably not. Is it carnivore? Definitely not. Do I think it's something to worry about? Maybe. You have to, like I got rid of it for the entire month of October, didn't really notice a difference. I don't have to have coffee every day, and I don't have coffee every day, but I do still have coffee because I like coffee. At some point I may get rid of it, but that's one of the last things to go. And that's what really prompted this. I was just digging through the short shelf and watching some stuff, and I saw Larry from Carnivore Quest pop up. And apparently he had somebody in his Facebook group that was asking about coffee that was really upset because, he is at like 400 pounds or so. And I don't know the whole story. It's not my story to tell. This is just the general gist of what I got from the short, that because people in the group had said, well, you can't have coffee because coffee isn't carnivore. The guy was basically ready to just chuck it all in and not even try it. That's wrong, guys. I kind of talked about this yesterday with the dogmatism and all that, but if you're out there and you know you're already addicted to food, or you're addicted to sugar, or whatever it is that you're addicted to, because again, we don't know where other people are coming from. That's, don't jump on somebody because that coffee might be the only thing that keeps them in. Sorry, I've gotten a little ahead of myself here. The other things that we know for sure. One other thing is that for pretty much every study you can find out there that shows coffee is bad for you, you'll find another study that says coffee is not bad for you. I know a lot of people out there are saying, oh, you got to cut out the coffee. It's terrible for you. I mean, yes, the caffeine is bad for you. There's some bad plant stuff in there. And I have cut down, back before my stint in October where I had no coffee. When I was at home where I had my Mr. Coffee maker, I would make an entire 12-cup pot. At least once a day, sometimes twice. Now, because I'm down here at the church where they have one of them fancy Keurig machines or whatever it is, you get the little pod thingies and you put it in. I have 1 cup. And occasionally, I'll run the same pod a second time to get a second cup of coffee that's much weaker. And that's the total extent of my coffee down here. And I'll probably try another stint of no coffee when I get home. But but what I was saying, I wouldn't worry about coffee or tea if tea is your thing. When you're first starting, or even for the first however, many months it takes, 10, 12, even if it takes you 1.5 years or 2 years, while your body is healing, while you're changing your life, while you're changing your way of eating, you're getting used to keto or ketovore or carnivore, you have a lot of weight to lose, you have food addiction or sugar addiction to get over, you have a lot of other stuff going on. And you may even want to start moving after a while, like I've been doing. Because of the way the studies stack up, pretty much 50-50 for good or bad, and I know I'm probably going to get some comments, people that disagree with me on that. That's perfectly fine for you to disagree with me, but I think coffee is one of the last things you should worry about. Considering, stress and sleep and eating properly, and I mean, the list just goes on and on and on of everything that you're doing to try and get healthier by switching from a standard American diet or whatever you're switching from, that other way of eating that's nutrient deficient. But your body's got a lot going on. You're already putting an enormous amount of stress on your body. Don't make it worse by trying to cut out coffee too soon, or even at all. I mean, I know a lot of people that, well, look at Dr. Barry. He's been doing this for a long time, and he still has a cup of coffee every now and then, although I think he's currently on a no coffee run. But there are a lot of people out there that drink coffee. And as long as you're not abusing coffee like I was prior to October, I mean, 2 pots of coffee a day is probably too much. But as I've said in some of my previous videos, I drink the coffee not necessarily for my health and sanity or safety, but for those I come in contact with every day. It's more to augment their safety. I'm joking, of course, but that's, I wouldn't, is it something to think about long-term? Yes, it's probably something to think about long-term. Is it something you need to worry about right this instant? I don't think so. Well, you've got so many other things going on, just leave that one alone. There's plenty of other bad things you've been doing to yourself over the last however many decades you've been sick, that I don't think coffee is something to worry about. But anyway, that's what I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this short little video on coffee. don't forget, get out there, be 1% better today. And I did try to take a few pictures of those wisteria. If they came out at all usable, I'm going to throw those in here, but it was not a great day for taking pictures outside. We'll see. If you see them at the end of this video, great. If not, I'll probably try and sneak them into tomorrow's video. But anyway, that's what I've got for you today. Have a great day, folks. Get out there, be 1% better today. I will see you tomorrow.